welcome back to Biomutant. Today we're going to try and help Whiz, who is a character we met in the previous episodes. If you missed the last episode, go back and have a look. But today we're going to try and find what he needs. But first, there's a little side mission to pick up.
No one paid much attention to them, it looks like. Whiz should be around here somewhere, probably taking care of his guppos. A surge surf factory was one of the cleaner ways to make power, until the surf turned into goo and clogged it all up, that is. The power comes from turning the movement of the surf into surge sparks. Sometimes science is beyond belief. There are sure to be more tracks around here, maybe by the shore.
So that's another side mission added to the list, but we're not going to worry about it right now. Instead, we're heading to the Mekastadium to go and get the Mekafringo that Whiz requires. We have a little issue just outside. It is a Juba Jergil who we need to beat first.
Don't want to point a finger, but the Mekastadium is near here. It's flat out black out there. Not opening for you. Locked, but good. There's no time to look back. Too busy moving on. You need to line up the switches so they match. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. You need to loosen the bolts without unsettling it. That's it. The tug twister's loose. Let's hope it turned the grabbing hand into a helping hand, too.
And that is the Mekafringo done. We have now can hand it back to Whiz. But it turns out the Mekafringo is actually a unique mount that we can now use. And it's unique in the fact it has its own gun to use. So we're going to head outside, just have a look at what this thing can do. It did seem a bit weird when you look at it first of all. But there we go. And there, I think, yeah, that's the gun. That's actually quite cool. I don't know how good it's going to be in a fight. It seems a little bit slow. I think if we're being attacked, probably not the first thing you're going to think of trying to do, to be fair. Is there something we can shoot and just see how good it is? We've got this totem over here. This is normally where you get resources from. Okay, so aiming this is not simple. It doesn't seem to aim where you think it is. There we go. You can't destroy the totem, unfortunately. But anyway, we're going to head back to Whiz now and hand it to him.
He believed the tug twister would do the trick, but now realizes brute force won't do the trick. You need something slick.
Jim.
Well, he means slick as in greasy, so you can lube the hinges of the lid. He can't argue against the fact your fur's shiny. He says the lid should open if you sprinkle grease it. Problem is, he's all out. He knows his old friend Chu-Chu always keeps his grease sprinklers well filled. He should have an extra that you can borrow. He stresses that you should come back as soon as you've retrieved the grease sprinkler. The Merc Puff is crunching bark by the minute. It's big enough to make waves beneath the surface, and that's a challenge in itself. But it also has a hard shell, so you need to target its head.
That is the Mekafringo handed into Whiz, but we still have it as a mount when we want to as well, so we don't lose it by handing it in. But we're off to the end of the line to see someone called Chu-Chu. I'm guessing it's something to do with trains. And end of the line says it's the last train station, essentially. And we are here as well. We've got a totem to just smash down here first. And then I think Chu-Chu is up ahead of us. So there is Chu-Chu, but before we speak to him, we're just going to leave our scent on the pole as always. And then we'll go and speak to Chu-Chu.
Chu-Chu knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Says the name is Chu-Chu, and he likes to ride the rails. Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track, or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them, and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch tracks or keep chugging along the one you're on? Likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to reverse. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Chu-Chu. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Says sometimes life runs off the rails, but it's always better when they're good and greased. He's convinced the tracks are like the paths our lives take, and you must deal with the outcome, even if you didn't lay them yourself. This time, though, he was sidetracked and needs a new wingnut to get back on track. Wingnuts are easy to find, as they're fitted on any in-front chugga-chugga out there. The challenge is taking them off, so he's happy you're here to do it for him. Says he knew you would, like he knows the way the rails run.
It's never as simple as just getting what you need from the character we need it from. So we're here to get a grease sprinkler, but Chu-Chu needs a wingnut. So first of all, we need to go and find him a wingnut, then hopefully he'll give us the grease sprinkler.
The wingnut Chugtunnel. It goes on forever. Be careful down here. Easy to get trapped. Gets dangerous when it gets dark. Well, more dangerous.
And that is the wingnut acquired, and we're just about out of here now, and we can head back to Chu-Chu and give it to him.
Chu-Chu says he knew you'd come through. If someone makes a stop at your station, it's for a good reason, but he understands no one gets their tracks greased for free. He'd be happy to part with his spare grease sprinkler, as he believes it's a great fit for any of your business that needs to be unstuck. He keeps it safe in a box on the handcart, in case of emergency. It's on the cart. He wants to keep it close by. In general, you won't have much time to act in case of an emergency. Chu-Chu says you should help yourself to the grease sprinkler. It's a versatile tool from the bygone, a last of its kind, so don't let it go to waste. He's convinced you'll put it to good use, as there are lots of stuckies out there that need greasing to open. Says he's glad to see it in good hands, rough as they might be.
Oh, the light just... it hurts your eyes, am I right?
You can still see how ugly the dark can be.
We're not hiding in the dark. We revel in it.
Well, you should be hiding. From mirrors, mostly.
Now that's just mean. You're not wrong, just mean.
Chu-Chu says he can't wait to get out of this place. Wouldn't be surprised if you met again. You shouldn't worry about smashing up the box. Chu-Chu has no use for it now. Chu-Chu says he feels strongly about helping his next, just like you did for him. He's convinced there was a bigger reason you met. Sometimes the wrong train will take you to the right place. He believes you've got what it takes to make a difference. He's witnessed it himself. Says he can't see the end of your rails, but if you grease them up good, he hopes you'll enjoy an easier ride. Chu-Chu's thrilled you found the Ark. Just imagine how much faster than a chug that thing must be, and no rails needed. Needs no rails, no roads, nothing but air. The world's on the mend, so no need to leave it. But just think of all the places the Ark could take you. Says he's happy to see the Ark in your hands. Knows you'll go great places with it and do some good. Wonders who you might call aboard the Ark with you.
So, what we have here is an opportunity to help your next. There's a seat open on the Ark should you want to offer it as a gesture of appreciation.
A conscious choice to be alone means you won't miss anyone.
The thing we're really missing here is someone with compassion. You just seem to have passion. For yourself.
The world would be a better place if we were left alone to handle it. Then we'd only have to talk to ourselves, and that's how you get the good answers.
Well, anyone in their right mind would agree you're better off on your own. Let's hope the Ark carries you all the way there.
Hopes you figure out someone better to ride the Ark with you, if that's possible. Chu-Chu says he's ready to pack up and leave. Says you should take it easy.
It's a little bit sad not giving a seat to someone on the Ark. I've not really noticed that before. I think that might be the first person we've turned down, though, to be fair. But we now hand the grease sprinkler into Whiz, and he can add it to his machine.
Whiz says that there's no plan to confront the Merkpuff until the octopod is properly armed.
None.
He's happy to tell you that the cannon he's been working on now just needs ammunition.
Mick,
He says his old friend Boom makes all things that go bang.
kan dan is of.
There's a rumor that some of Boom's pyro sticks shot off and are out there roaming free.
Dampati nerop.
You should keep an eye on the horizon for pyros. If you're fast, you have a shot at catching some of them before they go off.
Inyamer kalo ala kanja.
Boom has named the place Puff Duff Bluff. It sounds silly, but it's an accurate description considering most of the pyros are duds, seeing as they're as old as the old world.
Whiz is not quite done with us yet. He needs a pyro stick that we need to go and find for his machine before we can take it and use it against the World Eater. But that will be in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching this one. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe. And a like on this episode does really help as well. We'll see you next time for more Biomutant.